Happy St. Patrick's Day, Methuen, and welcome to the first ever St. Patrick's Methuen Parade. I'm your host for today, Michelle Houle.
And I'm Carol Ann Russo.
Thanks for joining me today, Carol Ann. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I can't believe the excitement that the city has shown for this parade.
I can't believe the wind. So if you notice that we keep holding onto our hats and our headsets, it's because it's a little windy out here.
Yes.
So for those of you watching at home, you may have a really good vantage point anyway. So this parade today has almost 80 different... Over 80. Wow, so there's been additions since I last looked at the lineup. That's pretty amazing. Tell me a little bit about... You got a chance to meet with Frank Curran, the Grand Marshal, and I got a chance to talk with him too. He is so nice.
He is.
And he is like the perfect person to be the Grand Marshal for this parade.
Yeah, and actually we have an interview that we are going to share with you in a little bit, and getting him to talk about himself was such a struggle. He is such a modest man, and you can tell he just genuinely loves his Irish heritage. And when you ask him about himself, he can't come up with words. When you ask him about his heritage, that's when he really shines, and he just... we could have sat there for hours listening to him.
That's when his gift of blarney comes out, as the Irish would say.
I see.
Yeah, he's been here almost over 20 times he's visited Ireland, and I guess people don't see a camera and table sometimes.
No, I guess not. I bet that doesn't happen on the Today Show.
No, it probably does.
So, yeah, we're going to cut to the control room, and we're going to share... the interview with Grand Marshal Frank Curran. Leading the way in the first ever Methuen St. Patrick's Day Parade will be a man who never expected the honor. Frank Curran has spent decades celebrating his Irish heritage, so when organizers asked him to serve as Grand Marshal, he says he was completely surprised.
Shocked.
So why were you so shocked? You've done so much with the city over the years. You definitely have deserved it.
I don't know. These things are usually reserved for somebody up on the highlight or in politics or something like that.
Frank is no stranger to parades. Over the years, he's been a familiar face driving his Jeep through celebrations across the region, especially on St. Patrick's and Veterans Day.
I'm a veteran, and we try to honor those that didn't make it home, and those that have served, show our pride.
And this year's parade will mark another milestone for Frank. The same day he serves as Grand Marshal, he'll also celebrate his 85th birthday.
And March is just a crazy month for us. One of my daughters is the 14th, my wife's the 16th, 15th, the 16th, I'm the 21st. They always get robbed of their birthdays because we're so active with all the events for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
How many years young are you going to be?
I'll be 85.
Wow. Yeah. Really?
Yeah, 85.
I didn't have you a day over 75.
Ooh.
85 years of sharing his love of Irish heritage with family, friends, and the community.
One set of grandparents come over from County Cork, the Donovans and the Crowleys, and my other set, they come over in 1860, 1880. They come from Connemara, Galway, very poor regional area on the west coast of Ireland, and they settled into Dorchester. And from there, we went to the suburbs.
Did you grow up hearing the stories about, like, Irish need not apply and all of those sort of things? Did you grow up hearing about them?
Yeah. I in this very town, they say, Irishman, bow down your head. Go back to Ireland, for Christ's sake, you're dead. And when you get there, you surely will see how dirty and filthy the Irish can be. Back then, was their mindset prior to World War II. World War II, World War II stopped a lot of discrimination, you know, because all the nationalities all fought together and lived together, worked together. But prior to 1940, there was a heavy discrimination.
After serving in the military, Frank eventually made his way to Methuen and later began reconnecting with the Irish heritage he now proudly shares with his children and grandchildren.
Actually, my parents died when I was 4, and I grew up a statewide, so I lived all over. And I wound up in Methuen in 1955, and because really there was 9 of us in the family, and we all got separated. So as a family, we really didn't know each other. It wasn't really till I got out of the Army and I started, you know, connecting, and then my older sister, you know, got all the stories and stuff, you know.
Many will be cheering Frank on from the sidelines, but there is one in particular that will be missing that day.
One thing I'm very, very sad about is that we don't have the late Neil Perry with us to enjoy it. Neil was a great Irishman. He loved the culture. He loved the music. And I really, really feel bad that he's with us. He's going to be with us. I know that. Mm-hmm. But it would be so nice to have him here for the first parade in Methuen. I tell you, it would have been a Neil Perry day.
I had 5 strong sons. They fought to save my jewels. They fought and they died. And that is my grief, said she.
I love the guy. He was, talk about giving. He just wanted to give back to the community. You know, there was no me with Neil. Neil wanted to give back. I think that made him just an outstanding, great person.
And when the parade ends, he already knows how he'll celebrate.
As Grand Marshal, you said you were going to walk the whole route, or try to.
I'm going to try.
It's a long route.
Yeah.
And there's some hills.
Yeah.
When you get to the end of the parade, what do you get to do?
Go have a mighty pint of Guinness at the cottage.
Frank Curran is really, really proud of his Irish heritage.
Yes.
And I admit I am too. You know, I think especially at St. Patrick's Day, everybody's Irish. But there was one gentleman in town that loved his Irish heritage. And he would be all over this parade today. And the parade is actually being dedicated to him. It's Mayor Neil Perry. Neil passed away in 2024.
Right.
During his mayorship, I guess is the right term. It probably isn't, but hey, it is now.
We know what you mean.
So Neil talked about his Irish heritage all the time.
We actually had a chance to do a St. Patrick's Day special with him on Mayor's Minutes back in 2021. It was COVID style, and we saw a little bit of that in the package with Frank, how they sang together. And we also got to sit down with a couple organizers from the parade and talked about the importance of remembering Neil because he was such a proud Irishman.
He was a proud Irishman. He was a proud Methuen person. Methuen resident, Methuenite?
Methuenite.
Methuenite. Neil, those were, besides his family, those were probably his 2 biggest prides. Mm-hmm. And I think right now he's probably standing along this parade route somewhere and cheering everybody on, especially when he finds out that it's going to be dedicated to him. And I think we actually have that clip ready.
We do. We can throw it back to the control room and hear a little bit more about the Mayor's Cup. The St. Patrick's Day Parade is a full celebration of Irish pride and community, but woven into it all, a tribute to former Mayor Neil Perry and the pride he carried for his heritage.
Mayor Perry was an Irishman's Irishman. If anybody knew him, they would know that to be true. And he would have been quite literally all over this parade. He would have loved it.
When organizers began planning the parade, they knew it would only be fitting to find a way to honor him.
So we wanted to have an overall winner of the parade, somebody who's going to identify with everything that is Irish, that they're going to put on the best float and kind of have the best understanding of what St. Patrick's Day means and the theme, which is Lucky Charms, and all that. And then I believe it was Councilor DiZoglio who made the, or it could have been Representative Hamilton. They said, well, what if we dedicate this to our past mayor? And I only met Neil twice, and I know that the mayor and Councilor DiZoglio had a good standing relationship with him. I had only met him a couple of times, as my time only in Methuen was very short, and I said, yeah.
The winner of the trophy, which will be chosen by Mayor Beauregard, will be announced after the parade at the Irish Cottage after party. This exact trophy will be presented to the parade's overall winner year after year to carry on Neil's memory.
Then this trophy will live at City Hall, and they will get a plaque for their own bragging rights to be able to say, hey, we won, we were the best, we got to do this, and they can put it up at their business or their school or wherever they may be and come back the next year and try to defend their title. The idea behind this is to, on the sides of it, we'll put some plaques for the years and who won, just kind of like a Stanley Cup, right? And we'll keep building, and hopefully this thing over the next, 50 years gets bigger and bigger and harder to carry.
Before moving ahead with this idea, organizers say it was important to first speak with Neil's family, to share their plans and explain what this tribute would stand for.
I knew his brother, Bill, a little bit over from meeting him during the campaign season. But I reached out to the mayor and I asked, do you know Neil's children? Because I didn't want to just put something out there and say, hey, we're going to dedicate this to your father, without making sure that it was okay with them. And I actually reached out to the mayor. He said, here you go, here's his number, and give him a call. So I did. Reached out, we spoke, and he was honored. He said he appreciated the sentiment, and his father would be greatly appreciative of this. And he thinks that it would be something his father would be proud to have his name on.
I heard from one of his sons, I think yesterday, sent me a message. And because of the parade, we have all these Irish flags on all the posts and such along the route. And he shared with me, he's like, I took a drive and I saw all these flags, and he said he couldn't help but think of how proud his dad would have been, seeing the city of Methuen just completely decked out in Irish flags and getting ready for the parade. And so I think that he would have loved it. His family is certainly appreciative, and they're looking forward to Saturday. And I think all around it's a wonderful thing for our community.
A day filled with music, tradition, and Irish pride, and in the middle of it all, a legacy that lives on, in the spirit of the parade and in the community that continues to carry it forward. I can't think of a more appropriate way to honor Neil today.
I really can't either. And you can see it in the package, but we can actually see the Mayor's Cup from where we're sitting. Mm-hmm. And it is absolutely stunning, especially with the sunlight on it. And it's one of the few things that the breeze is blowing the bows and not blowing them over. Yeah.
And that's another thing. The weather was kind of questionable all week, and now we're here and we're fighting with the sun, which I don't know if it's the luck of the Irish or what, but
I think it's Neil.
Yeah.
I think he's the one that said, nope, no clouds over Methuen today. I think I see one in the distance.
Yeah, so.
But it's amazing to see how many people are turning out for this, especially when it's the first ever. Mm-hmm. But there are, as you said before, there's over 80 different people that are groups that are going to be marching today. Some of them are large groups, some of them are nonprofits, some of them are businesses. There's one gentleman that Nancy Reardon actually happened to find him. He has a really big social media following, and I got a chance to sit down and talk to Paul Veneto. And Paul is just a force to be reckoned with, and his story is so amazing. and we're going to see him today pushing an airline beverage cart.
That's something you don't usually see in a parade.
No, it's not. So we're going to find out a little bit about why he's pushing that beverage cart, because I spent a long time talking with him, and I loved the story. So we all get to find out about it. So if the control room could roll that clip, we'd appreciate it. You'll notice former flight attendant Paulie Veneto, pushing an airline beverage cart in this year's parade. Paulie is in Methuen today to bring attention to his journey, Paulie's Push, a long-distance walk honoring the flight crews and passengers of September 11th.
This push that we're doing this year coming up, that's really the focus of it. That's why we're calling this push everybody's push, so everyone can get involved and bring the communities together again. So for generations that weren't alive during then, you know what I mean? They can see how we, you know, that it's just hopefully, you know, it makes a good impact. And I don't question it. I know it will.
Having walked all 4 routes of the downed flights, his path has taken him from Boston to Ground Zero and beyond. This year, it will also cross Patriots Bridge in Methuen, where the city honors residents who had ties to the September tragedy. For Paulie, stops like these along the way, small towns, city bridges, school gymnasiums, are where the real meaning of the push lives. Paulie spent years working as a flight attendant, including on the very route flown by United Flight 175, the plane that would leave Boston on the morning of 9/11. He had flown that very flight the night before.
They went out on Tuesday morning. I went out Saturday morning. It was a 3-day trip. I just finished my first trip of the month. I went out the 8th, 9th, come back on the 10th. They went out on the 11th. So, yeah, it was just a luck of the draw, just like anybody else, I guess.
After 9/11, Paulie says he struggled with what his friends in the air went through and why he was spared. Years later, he found a way to turn that weight into a walk. In 2021, on the 20th anniversary, he pushed his cart from Boston to Ground Zero. Communities lined the streets. Firefighters, nurses, families, even strangers who had their own stories came out to walk beside him.
Something's going to happen along the way at this parade, your parade. I know it is. There's going to be something's going to happen. I don't know what it is, but something's going to happen. Somebody's going to something. I don't know what. It just does because it opens up people to be able to, I don't know, I guess be comfortable enough to share a story that they've been struggling with for years. And you guys are going to tell someone, they're going to tell someone, and I call it the transmission line. We help each other with whatever, you know. And so, yeah, it's incredible what.
Okay, well, we are back. And we are not only back, but it was perfect timing because the parade has just hit Pelham Street and it has just turned the corner. So the first band, well, we're going to start with the beautiful banner. And then we are going to the first band, which is a pipe and drum band. And they are the Clatta Moore Band. They are consisting of bagpipes, tenor, and snare drums. And they're usually in competitions, but they also like to do parades as well. And so they were kind enough to come by today and bring us some music, which when they get a little bit closer, I think we'll be able to just kind of listen to them and enjoy it. But in the meantime, we still have a little ways till they get to us.
So I think we should mention our great volunteers while we wait. Volunteers and staff. We are a volunteer-based organization, and there are a few staff members, but without our volunteers, we wouldn't be able to be here today. So we have Ian in the van along with Chris on camera, Jim on camera, Sharon, Dawn, and then back at the studio we have Karen and Brian.
We also have Jim on camera. You forgot about our camera person.
I said Jim.
Oh, I heard you say
I
Ian.
didn't.
No.
Okay.
Oh, I hear bagpipes. And you know it's St. Patrick's Day when you hear bagpipes. So this is the Clatta Moore Band. And Carolyn, the Clatta is obviously a wonderful restaurant right down at the other end of Pelham Street.
Yep.
And they are one of the sponsors for today's parade.
Mm-hmm.
But in the case of the Clatta Moore Band, they are recognizing the symbol. And the symbol of the claddagh recognizes friendship, loyalty, and love.
I never knew that.
And the word more in Gaelic actually means great or big, not more, like we think of. So,
Okay. The Italian girl learned something new today.
hey, well, let's listen in and see if they're going to stop and perform or if we just get to listen as they walk by.
And right behind them is the Methuen Police Color Guard, carrying not only the American flag, but the Irish flag as well, very appropriately themed.
Actually, before them, it looks as though we have a gentleman we've already met once. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the wrong place.
Yes, see, she was. But we have our Grand Marshal that we had the privilege of watching in the package before the parade. Here's our buddy Frank Barron. Hi, Frank.
In his beautiful Irish knit sweater.
And he is 85 years young, celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday, Frank.
Now, I have to admit, the reason that I did not see the color guard was that I was watching the kilts and thinking those poor people. And we have behind Frank, that is Frank's Jeep and his dog Lucy. And then we have St. Patrick, which is kind of the whole reason we're here today, is St. Patrick himself.
And if we could get a shot of him hugging his family, the Grand Marshal. His family's sitting there. We go, right on the sidelines. His family's here cheering him on. And he is attempting to walk this whole parade in its entirety, which I am not 85 years old, and I don't know if I could do it. So
No.
we have to give him a lot of credit for that.
He has
What a proud moment for him.
It's so great to see his family all turned out for him.
Oh, and St. Patrick is getting in on the action.
Well, you don't want to be left out. And I believe he said a lot of his family was actually coming from out of town just to
Yes.
watch the parade today.
I believe he has some family up in Maine, he mentioned. Oh,
I think that was what he said.
one of our volunteers is actually in the parade. We don't see him on screen yet, but he's given us a wave.
So, in case you were wondering at home, the parade is currently stopped so that Frank can get his photo moment. And I
He
don't blame
deserves
him. I think he should, get a selfie with each and every one of those family members. Because
Oh, and they're all wishing him happy birthday now. Like, what an honor to be Irish, and this is the way you're celebrating your birthday.
and 85 is kind of a big number, so.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're a little bit off screen right now, but the banner for the next group of people is with the Ancient Order of Hibernians, and they're based out of Lawrence. And then we have our favorite volunteer, Kevin
Hi,
Winters,
Kevin.
is one of the flag carriers, banner carriers. And he is followed up behind some very important people for the Ancient Order of Hibernians. And I believe they said their 130th year that they are celebrating the Irish man and Irish woman. So the Irish man is Mike Reddy, and I believe he was the gentleman that was just in the car that we saw go by. And the Irish woman is Maureen Mannion Collins, which I think is the lady that is walking. I don't know if we can still see her.
And now I think we can see the rest of the Hibernians group. And behind them are our elected officials. I see Mayor Beauregard, who will be handing out that mayor's cup in just a little bit. And I see Representative... I'm trying to look ahead.
I see Polino. I see a lot of people. Representative Senator Polino.
State Senator Payano.
Yes. Sorry, I always do that. They're always together.
Nick DiZoglio, school committee member Laurie Keegan.
I'm not wrong. Representative Polino's right behind him.
School committee member Mary Beth Donovan. Very nice to see you. State Rep Estella Reyes just came to say hello to us, and I apologize if I missed anyone.
Yeah, I saw Councilor Zani go by, and I think I saw school committee Mary Beth Donovan Grassi. Mm-hmm. And now we are the actual memorial of this parade, as we talked about before, is to Neil Perry. And the Irish Cottage literally dug out the Irish Cottage for him. It was a little bit covered in snow the other day, and they had to get out the shovels. I don't know if that's a problem they have in Ireland often.
And we should mention the Irish Cottage is also the top sponsor for this parade today. Mm-hmm. So they did a lot in bringing this together. And there is the Mayor Neil Perry float.
This is the Heavey Quinn Irish step dancing coming up after, but I am ahead of myself, which I always promised I wouldn't do that.
We can take another look at the now let's take a look at those Irish step dancers. They're located in Chelmsford, and they are showing us a little bit of their traditional Irish step dancing. I love their I don't know if the right word is costumes, but I love the colors on them. It looks like we have all age groups there, down to the little ones.
And they are keeping step with each other. Amazing.
Good job, guys.
That was amazing, and the music's got the crowd clapping along with them.
And coming up next, we have another parade sponsor, Wicked Irish Clothing Company. They are located in Salem on Main Street, and they were founded in 2006. Their motto is they believe in the simple joys of life, family, friends, and a whole lot of fun.
Which is pretty much the Irish motto. These step dancers are amazing the crowd so much that the crowd made them stop again for a second performance. So that's what's holding things up a little bit. But it's not often you get a encore performance requested by the crowd. So as Caroline was saying, this is the Wicked Irish group. They are located in Salem. They recently just opened a brick and mortar. Before that, they were online. And they do sell all over the world. But most importantly, they helped sponsor this parade and bring it to us today so we could enjoy ourselves. And this is Miss Massachusetts, Kaylee Griffin. She was crowned Miss Massachusetts in 2025, so she will continue to hold her title until 2026 June. And at that point, the Miss America pageant will go on, and somebody new will take the crown. When hopefully we'll be able to say that our Miss Massachusetts has become Miss America.
And now we have Scout Troop 60. They're part of the Spirit of Adventure Council, and they are local. They're active in the community. You may have seen them at other events. I know they said the Pledge of Allegiance at Mayor Beauregard's inauguration back in January. And, yeah.
Now we have the Vietnam War veterans. These folks are just amazing how much they do throughout the year. And we also have with them the Knights of Columbus.
And now we can see our Methuen Fire Department coming into view.
And they are joined by the police department, it looks like, as well.
I believe that is the Lawrence Fire Department behind them. Oh, maybe not. I stand corrected.
Actually, I am seeing badges from Andover, Lawrence, Methuen. The next group has a flag that says Cambridge on it, the one that you can see right now.
Okay, so I guess they brought some friends with them today. I see Chief Toto coming by. Here are our Methuen firefighters.
These men and women are risking their lives every day so that you and I can have a safe life, safe place to live, and we thank them for that. And who knew the fire department has a motorcycle? It's kind of cute.
I've never seen that before.
No.
A little sidecar. I wonder if we can ride that sometime.
I think I will be bothering to ask.
I think we'll have to reach out to Chief Toto about that one.
Yeah. And their family and friends.
There's Danielle with her new baby on the float. I don't know if anyone caught that, but she's waving to us right now. She has the carrier in tow.
You know, if you're going to start in a parade, you might as well start while you're still in the carrier. I mean, come on. You can't get much more parade happy than that.
And we are located right outside Methuen Central Fire Department, so there's a big crowd cheering them on here. Now there's the Lawrence Fire Department.
Now we have the Lawrence Fire Department. It's nice to see so many different ones together.
Looks like they're tossing some candy out. Oops, some beads.
They're in the
how
Mardi
far
Gras
you can
spirit a
throw.
few weeks late.
All right.
Good job, thanks. We're
We
getting
got it
lollipops
dum-dum.
thrown to us. And we have the Lawrence Fire Department on camera right now, although I have a feeling that these are the future firefighters, not the ones that are currently serving. We also have Armstrong Ambulance now coming up, and they are serving throughout Massachusetts. They have 8 different locations, and they offer emergency and non-emergency services. So it seems kind of fitting to have behind the fire department the ambulance, because usually you get both of them together, and they both keep you safe and take good care of you.
Absolutely. Got a little fist bump there. Coming up next is the Methuen Scholarship Foundation, and they actually have a big night coming up, the big 2 nights coming up next week. They are having their annual telethon on March 24th and 25th.
So that's Tuesday and Wednesday night. You're going to want to tune in to their YouTube. And they were kind enough that their float is actually everybody who does anything for the telethon throughout the year. So they have their Jersey Mike's, Texas Roadhouse, Bada Bing, Aroma Joe's. And look who happens to be on the back once we get to them. Okay, I can see the back a little bit better.
Let's go back to that float. Whose banner is on the back of there?
Yes.
Oh, look! It's MCS.
We have American Entertainment, DJ Mike and his family and friends, including Bluey and Paw Patrol and Minions, are at so many city events, and they just kind of keep everything up and running and going and having fun and keep the music going.
And Pooh Bear is in his green attire there. Oh. Up next, we have the Festival of Trees. They were started in 1994, and they've donated over $2 million to historic preservation projects across the Merrimack Valley. Before you know it, we'll be attending that event.
Yeah. Some people are already starting putting their Christmas trees together, which is kind of scary, but it'll be before you know it. We'll be looking at next year's already.
Mm-hmm. We start planning usually in August or September, so.
Yeah. I think they start planning the day after one closes. And they are also one of the sponsors of the parade today, I believe.
Yes, they are.
And right in the middle there is one of the founders of the Festival of Trees, former Mayor Sharon Pollard. And her husband, Tom Lucier, it looks like, is up next to the tree. And they are also passing out beads, green ones, because,
of course,
makes sense. And I don't know how they found it, but they actually have sounds like an Irish drinking song, for lack of better terms, because that's what they were called, dedicated to Christmas trees.
Up next, we have the McGann Marching Band. They are a high school and college professional musician band out of Gardner, Massachusetts. So let's stop and take a listen.
I do not know how any band can do that they remember their notes. I don't know how any of them remember these things. And I could barely talk and walk at the same time. In fact, today I seem to be having a hard time talking. But that's because I know you're doing such a great job. You don't need me anyway. I'll just go home.
No, don't you dare leave. Yes, it is a little chilly. Maybe that's why I was thinking about Christmas.
Yeah, it does have a little bit more of a Christmas feel than we were expecting.
Yeah, the sun is shining, but there is a little bit of a wind, and I'm sure it's picking up on our mics, but we try the best we can. We do have a little bit of gap in the parade, so it's hard to see who's coming up next, but let's give a shout out to all the parade sponsors. This event was actually not put together with taxpayer money. There was a lot of fundraising that went into it. John Drew did a great job of organizing that. So like I said before, the top sponsor was Irish Cottage, and then other sponsors were Wicked Irish Clothing Company, Methuen Co-op, Redmond Insurance Agency, Valley of Hope Shelter and Recovery, Feast of the Three Saints, which Irish Parade, Italian Society, why not? Everyone's Irish today, right?
Everyone's Irish today, and it's important for the groups to get together. The Irish and the Italians live very happily together.
And I hear a rumor that St. Patrick was actually Italian.
Actually, he was.
There you go. Martineau's Towing, which we're used to seeing them along the route, volunteering their services for a lot of the floats. Today they actually have their own floats in them, along with Sheehan's Towing.
And Cody's
Towing. So yeah, we have them all in there. Claddagh Pub, another great Irish establishment that's fairly new to Methuen.
Yep. If you haven't heard of the Claddagh being in Methuen yet, if you remember the Fireside, you've heard of the Claddagh being in Methuen.
Yep.
And they picked up, taken that business, brought in a Lawrence tradition, moved it over to Methuen, and have been doing really well over there.
Yeah. And I think a lot of residents were happy about that transition, that it didn't turn into a car wash and it stayed a food
there's always
establishment.
political fun, isn't there?
Then we also have NESC, which is a credit union down on Pleasant Valley Street, I believe. Rockland Trust, State Rep Francisco Paulino, the Sheehan family, and MVP ASAP.
So these sponsors, like you said before, there's been no tax dollars at all used in this parade. And that in itself is just amazing because, you know, money's tight right now for pretty much everybody. And yet these people came out and are bringing back their memories and bringing back their time of the Lawrence Parade. This is really a continuation of the fact that the Lawrence Parade has been canceled for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we have, the gap is over, so we get to watch the Methuen Karate Association.
Okay.
And Concho Larry Giordano founded it in 1868. Don't tell Larry I said that. And he has been their founder, instructor, and in charge of everything since then.
And I'm sure they'll give us a little... Oh, they're actually doing it right now. Little
demonstrations.
So we might get to see them twice because they are not quite in front of us. Our cameras can see further than we can.
Yes, the cameras were able to get a great view right down the street, straight down Pelham Street here. And we want to thank the Methuen Fire Department for letting us set up outside Central Fire Station here.
Definitely, definitely.
We have our Vanna here and all of our crew and volunteers. And hopefully they'll stop again and do a little bit more of that demonstration. So this is the Methuen Karate Association, and I believe they're located on Bonanno Court.
I believe so.
And in the red jacket in the far side there, you can see that is Concho Larry Giordano, and he's giving directions. Oh, they're going to be doing a presentation. Very impressive. The skill that it takes to be able to coordinate yourself like that is amazing.
It is.
We now have the St. Monica Council of the Knights of Columbus, which I thought was going to be earlier, so it's got me a little thrown off here. And the Knights of Columbus are a Catholic fraternal organization, and they basically just try to help people. That is their whole entire goal in life. And now we have the Knights of Columbus has also helped.
We can hear St. Monica's School yelling Happy St. Patrick's Day to us in their bright green. Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys.
Say it one more time for everybody at home. I hope you guys at home were able to hear that because they are absolutely adorable
They
and
are.
so sweet. They've got their green on. And our next group is
Where?
the Methuen Exchange Club. We're trying to stick
I
with.
think they threw us a curveball here and went slightly out of order.
Yeah.
Yes, Methuen Exchange Club. It's a community organization focused on helping children in particular. And they're also all around our city and a great organization.
What a cute float.
That is adorable. We should mention the theme of the parade today is Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms, like my favorite cereal?
Or a rabbit's foot, you know. Take your
Okay.
pick. Although I do enjoy some Lucky Charms.
Yes.
And now we have a little bit of Italian, St. Alfio's band. Of course, they're best known for the Feast of the Three Saints. And they've been around for over 100 years. And the St. Alfio Society is with them.
And two of the biggest traditions in Lawrence for over 100 years have been the Lawrence St. Patrick's Day Parade and the Feast of Three Saints.
Yep.
So it's kind of fitting to have them in here. And there's Methuen's own Joe Bella. So they're joined by the North End Marching Band, which is actually a Boston-based band. And now we have with us the gentleman from the Thomas F. Redmond Insurance Agency, I think. Sorry, guys. We can't see ahead of what's on the
No,
screen.
this is still St. Alfio Society.
Oh, okay.
They just have a few vehicles there with us.
Okay, I should rephrase that. I can't see. Because, you know why? The crowd is so big that I cannot
Yes.
see past them.
So we are completely dependent on our monitor, which is not a bad thing.
No, because that's what people want to hear is what they're seeing on screen. So it may not look that crowded over on Patriots Bridge there, but down at the end here, closer to five corners, it is actually, people are standing shoulder to shoulder. Dads have...
That could just be Frank Curran's family, though.
That is true.
He brought a lot of people with him today.
Okay, so now we have the Redmond Insurance Agency.
Yes. Which is another sponsor of the parade, and they are located on Broadway in Methuen. And they've been insuring the Merrimack Valley since 1925, so just over 100 years.
Gotta love that shot showing the wind with the Irish flag in it.
Woo! You got some candy.
Hey, good throw. Methuen Youth Baseball may want to stop that group.
And behind them, we have the Tenney Grammar School with the National Junior Honor Society leading the way.
And the Tenney is one of the 4 K-8 schools that we have here in the city. They are the ones that are located over on Pleasant Street. And I always confuse the two because the two streets are right near each other.
They are Pleasant and Pleasant Valley Street. Oh, and now we have Canopy Lake Park.
Ooh, everybody's favorite.
Yes. And their season should be starting pretty soon.
They have been around since 1902, and they actually started as a resort.
Really?
Yes, they started as a resort because the trolley line had just expanded out to Salem, New Hampshire, and was the first way people were able to get out to Salem. And now we have the Clean River Project. who are not only cleaning your rivers, but they're cleaning your home of all those unwanted ghosts as well. Founded by Rocky Morrison, they have been around for just about 21 years. Just about. They were founded in 2005, and it started as just a way to clean the river. It was going to be a one-day event, and it turned into 20 years later, we have 2 or 3 ectomobiles, and if you've seen any of those cool bicycles at the stores hanging around outside.
And we've actually, through the years, had opportunities to sit down with Rocky, and it's really amazing what he has pulled out of that river.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah.
And that's actually those bicycles that you've been seeing around town. Those are pulled out of the river, and they have upcycled them into artwork to remind people of how important it is not to throw your trash into the river.
Actually, I believe there is one at the Claddagh.
There is. It has a leprechaun on it, I think.
Yes.
And I think there's one outside the Irish Cottage as well.
I think you're right.
And the Clayton River Project actually will be starting it up soon, but they do tours of the Merrimack River. Sorry, guys, I'm really chilly right now. So they do tours
On the boat that we're seeing in view right now.
And the gentleman that you are seeing is also one of the best parts of the river tours, because he usually follows you around and cheers for you and tries to get you off of his river. So if you've ever been up to Clark's Trading Post, think the Wolfman. Well, this is the Methuen version, and he is so much fun. You just got to take the tour just to hang out with him.
Now, I believe this is the Groove Alliance Band.
Yes, it looks like we skipped another band here. And according to their Facebook page, they cover everything from rock to funk, Motown, and R&B.
And a little patriotic music as well. Actually, this is the Italian-American band. A little bit out of order.
So much for that list we got this morning.
We'll have to have a little chat with Steve later.
But you know what? This is the beauty of live television, because, yes, we could film the parade and then add in voiceovers afterwards, but half the fun is being able to be here and say, hey, wait a minute, that's a parade float that I didn't expect to see, or, oh, they moved a group because they had a bigger group than they expected.
Right.
So I'm going to guess that this is the Groove Alliance band.
Sounds a little more appropriate.
Yeah, they're a little more Motown and R&B sounding than the last group was. Maybe we'll get a little Dropkick Murphys in when they stop to perform.
Ah.
And they are being towed by Cody's Towing.
All right, let's take a listen for a little bit. And now we see Trevor the Game Man. He's been doing parades since 1989 and has been in over 150 parades. I don't know if I want to walk a parade route on those stilts.
No. And he is known for that yellow banner that he is waving, and he is able to do hurricanes, tornadoes. He has all sorts of different weather patterns that he does with it.
Really?
Because he says that the wind is just perfect for bringing the weather.
Today is a great day for him then.
Yeah. We should mention, I'm not really sure if we did see them or not. I think we did, and we missed them, but they were the Valley of Hope Shelter and Recovery and Methuen High School SAD groups. I think were some of the walkers that we were missing before the Groove Alliance band. And I'm not sure what's going on.
I believe that is, I'm not Well, they're being told to move, so we'll get to them in a moment.
Maybe they were just letting somebody out that decided they wanted to walk, or picking somebody up, because this is a long, long walk.
Whoa, they threw a lot of candy.
Yeah.
So this is the Grieving Youth and Families of the Merrimack Valley. And they're a nonprofit that provide a safe and nurturing environment for children, teens, and their families. Wow, they're throwing out lint balls.
Yeah. Sorry, folks, the MCS, you'd get Tootsie Rolls. Thanks, Jim.
And now we have Valley of Hope.
Okay.
Shelter and Recovery. And they are formerly the Psychological Center in Lawrence, and they provide refuge, recovery, support, and hope for individuals facing homelessness, addiction, and mental illness.
So I apologize for misleading you, but our script was wrong.
Got a little bit out of order there, but that's okay. We're back on track.
Do you think the Today Show has this happen, or Macy's Parade? And this is the Daybreak Shelter, and they are a street outreach team, or this particular
And they
truck
work
is
with
representing
Valley of
them.
Hope as well. Now we have the Methuen Arlington neighborhood, or better known as Man Inc.
So, Man Inc. actually was started as a, I don't even know what the right word is, neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
Back in the 1992. So they started as a neighborhood watch group, and they realized that they could help the kids by opening up homes and bringing them in. And here we have Martineau's Towing.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Cool. A tow truck being towed. That's not something you see every day.
No. Do we think Rocky pulled that out of the river for them?
It looks it. That is cool. It reminds me of Mater. Is that?
Yes. Yes, it is definitely. Oh, and look, they have another little tow truck on the back.
Oh.
They are towing. He's got a flat tire, so they're towing
Yes.
the tow.
And now we have the Methuen High School SAD Club. They're a group of over 100 students who choose to live healthy lifestyles and want to better their community.
Can't really ask for better goal than that as a high school student.
And here's our friend.
Oh.
Here's our friend Cole Caffrey and the group Merrimack Valley Prevention and Substance Abuse.
I don't know if you could show Cole's dog, but she is dressed as a
believe
leprechaun.
That is Koa, if I remember the name correctly. I could be wrong on that, though. And it looks like we have some Lawrence cheerleaders here.
This would be the Pop Warner cheerleaders, is my guess. Only because they're a little bit on the younger side. But as a Lawrence girl, it's kind of cool, even as a Methuenite now, to hear the cheer for Lawrence. And they are actually going to stop and do a couple cheers, it looks like. Or they're just going to switch gears. Let's see. Isn't it great? You guys get as surprised as we do. And these young ladies travel all over the country doing cheer competitions, and I can see why.
And here we have the Donald P. Timoney School.
And it looks like we have parents, teachers, and kids all walking, and they are carrying pots of gold, or in this case, pots of candy.
You know, I think that might be better than gold.
Yeah, I could. The next group we have coming up is the Blues Brothers Next Generation. And they actually started off, their website was amazing, but let's let them sing instead of me talk. The Blues Brothers were originally John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, and that's what these people are. These guys are representing, and they did it as a talent show when they were in high school, and it was so well received that they turned it into a band, and they've been doing it for another 15 more years.
That is amazing.
So they are actually representing John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd as Elwood, and I can't remember the other one's name, and they have also picked up Z Blues.
Now we have Livingston Family Tree Service. I believe that's Mac in the driver's seat.
I think so, yeah. The size of these trucks is amazing. Oh, I like that. The crane company says, try us once, you'll be hooked. And I believe this would be Shaw's Farm, which we did not even have on the list. Oh, no, I take it back. It is Shaw's Distribution Center. So this is actually right down the street from us here right now, Danton Drive. There is a Shaw's Farm in Dracut that has delicious ice cream, in case anybody's ever bored. And they also do a great Sunday brunch.
And I believe now we have the Sutherland Pipe Band. They are a Highland bagpipe and drum band based in Metro West Boston, and they have a history of over 85 years. I mean, would the parade really be complete without little bagpipe music?
Well, we started with bagpipe music, and we're a little bit more than halfway now, so...
Now we have the Methuen Housing Authority, located on Mystic Street, I believe, correct?
Yes, I believe they are. And they service anybody in the city of Methuen who is in need of housing that is maybe a little more low income available or more income friendly than the high rent apartments that are available right now.
So what they do is so very important, especially in today's day and age.
Yeah, and if you know anybody that is in need of assistance, give the Methuen Housing Authority a call because they do amazing work and they are so helpful.
Here's our buddy, Paulie.
Paulie, he's finally here. I've been waiting. So Paulie, as we told you earlier, is pushing an airline beverage cart. And he told us in the package that people were going to stop him to come out and meet him. And sure enough, here it is.
Yep, I guess he really does have that huge social media following. And his fans are coming out to get photos with him. And now I'm sure they'll post them on their social media.
So we have pauliespush.com, and he is getting ready for his...
stopping for a photo op. And he has some friends with him.
So Paulie actually takes a couple of weeks, depending on the length of the route that he's going. And you'll notice that each one of these has a different flight number on it. And he's recognizing the crew, as we talked about earlier, of the flights.
And I don't know how close we can get, but you can see he, on the side of the RV here, he has all the flight attendants that were on those flights that day.
That's actually a blow-up of a picture that he has on the top of the cart that he's pushing. So as he's pushing the cart, he sees the faces of all of those crew members for the entire time that he's taking the walk.
Wow.
I'm not a big fan of walking to the store to get something, and he's walking from Boston to New York.
Next up, we have Valley Patriot. They're a free newspaper covering all the news in the Merrimack Valley. And they actually have their Valley Patriot Bash coming up, which raises thousands of dollars for local students, giving them some scholarships.
And Tommy Duggan Jr. is the one driving, but the memorial band that is on the side here is for his father, Officer Tommy Duggan Sr., who was killed in the line of duty, I think when Tommy Jr. was very young. And so it's nice that he's remembering his father in this way. We also have the HEAL group.
HEAL Lawrence, they help disaster victims and give relief in the greater Lawrence area.
And now we have Cody's Towing. And as Carol Ann said earlier, usually we see these guys towing the floats. But this year they decided to put themselves in as the floats. And I want to take a second to remind people while we're watching Cody's Towing that Massachusetts is a move-over law state. Mm-hmm. So if you do see a tow truck on the side of the road or police or fire, pull over into the next lane. Don't stay in the lane directly next to them, or slow down and be careful, because these guys are risking their lives. We don't think about it, but they're standing in the middle of a highway trying to get some work done, and there's cars going by them at pretty fast clips.
Absolutely.
So it is a law in Massachusetts to move over, but it's also a great way to keep friends and family safe. And thank them for all the work they do for us. I'm getting a little concerned about all these tow trucks being towed, though.
Yeah, it's not a good day to break down. Methuen.
I think it's a good thing there's a lot of streets shut off, because if you have any car problems, you're not going anywhere. Now this one here says heavy recovery. So those are usually the guys that are looking more at the semi-tractor trailer trucks that they're pulling off the side of the road. And other trucks their size. what? They found their truck
Later.
too.
Yeah. Very cool.
And this is the New Magnolia Jazz Band.
They're a regular in our Santa parade as well.
Yes, they are. And they specialize in the 20s through 40s traditional jazz and swing music. And I don't know if you were able to see or not, but the tuba has a giant snake on it.
Oh, I missed that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but were those not giant toilets that are walking towards us?
Well, we do have the Granite Group coming up, and they probably serve all of New England, and they're a full-service wholesale distributor of plumbing, heating, and cooling supplies.
So it kind of makes sense.
So, yes.
I'm also curious where they found blow-up toilet costumes. Do you have those specially made? So the Granite Group is based out of Haverhill, but they actually had a bunch of different offices.
They
When I
do
was
have
looking them up.
locations all over.
Yeah. So this is the Haverhill branch, but they do have them everywhere.
Oh, look at that.
And that is a traditional Irish playing pipe.
We'll go with that.
I make up those words as I say them. But that is so cool. I'm guessing they're part of the Magnolia Jazz Band.
Or Merrimack Valley Mayhem. Oh, no, that's not a band.
Like we said, your guess is as good as ours at home.
Now we have St. Anne's Home located in Methuen. They're a residential and education program located in Methuen, and they first opened on Christmas Eve, 1925, as an orphanage.
And they have been operating for over 100 years now to help kids, and they've moved on to psychological welfare problems as well as traditional schooling.
Mm-hmm. And now we have Black Dog Theater Company. They're a Methuen-based theater company producing quality plays and making art accessible to all. They have a show coming up, The Odd Couple, on March 27th, 28th, and 29th, and you can check out their website for more info.
And you definitely want to check it out because it's the female version of The Odd Couple.
Okay.
So Oscar and Felix are no more. This is the female version.
I feel like we could cast that.
Yeah, I think we probably could.
We won't say who's who.
Yeah. And the Black Dog Theater, they're a little more brown, but they're still adorable.
Yeah.
And they are actually, because The Odd Couple is this weekend, they're pushing their next one, which is going to be called Lucky Stiff. And I believe I saw that they are doing auditions for that in the next few weeks. They left without her. So this is the Methuen Youth and Community Center, and it is in 10 Ditson Place. It's where the superintendent's office used to be. They have renovated half of the school for adult education and the other half for youth center. And they have different rooms where the kids can do different things. They've asked the kids to decide what those things are. So there's a game room, of course. but they didn't want video games.
Really?
They actually asked to have no video games in the game room, so it is board games where you have to talk to each other.
Wow.
And they
That's pretty
also
impressive.
requested a study room. Who would have
Wow.
thought? So yes, they have all sorts of different things, and it's a great place to check out for your kids. You can check out their Facebook page. They are run by the Literacy and Leadership Foundation, I believe. Okay, so this was going to sound really bad, and of course it gets to be me to say it. But I don't know what the sign said because it turned. So this is the Greater Lawrence Fellowship of the... And I don't know what the last word is.
Of the arts. Arts?
Okay.
Maybe?
Okay. As we said, they kind of gave us a list and said there might be some changes to it. And apparently they
There
weren't
were a
kidding.
lot.
So it's a little chilly out here. As you can see, I'm hugging myself over here. But we're actually, unfortunately, if the list is right, coming to the end of the parade. But it looks like there is a bit of a gap.
There's a bit of a gap coming. So I grew up Italian, obviously, so I don't remember ever going to the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Lawrence. You're Irish.
Yes.
Do you have memories of going to the parade?
I remember going to it and being in it.
Really?
Yep. Lawrence High School would do a float every year.
Okay.
And so I was in the float one year. Or on the float. Actually, it was a dump truck, so we were in the float. Yeah, it was...
Okay.
Yeah, you take what you could get when you're looking for float things. But yeah, I have some great memories of it, going with my grandparents, and we would sit there and they would throw candy at us and we would run around and catch it. And at the time, I'm going to show my age, the only McDonald's around here was on Essex Street.
Okay.
Otherwise, you had to, I think it was Lowell was the next nearest one.
Really?
Yep. And so that was the big treat, was you would go to McDonald's afterwards, and they had a green Grimace. It was Uncle Grimace O'Grimace.
Okay.
And he would come out for the day along with the St. Patrick's Day shakes that were green, which they still do,
Yes.
and the hot fudge sundaes, and you would wait in line for an hour to get a green shake and to get to meet Grimace O'Grimace.
Interesting.
Yep. They also, the yellow lines that you've been seeing on the street here, and I know John was trying to get this done, they would repaint the yellow lines green for the parade.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they have to bring them back to yellow the next day, so it's not a very easy venture to
Right.
do.
Right.
But yeah, I have some wonderful memories. The parade carts, I think we've seen a few cutting through with these guys that are selling balloons and toys. And I keep seeing more and more kids stopping them for these giant blow-up mallets.
I'm guessing you weren't allowed to have those because I know you and your brother.
No, we were not.
Yeah, I figured. Oh, and now the gap is, the parade is restarted,
Yep.
and we're going to practice my Spanish here, Association Carnavalesca, and they're a traditional Dominican group that it was originally created to scare off demons and has now become a beautiful form of traditional dance.
I think I didn't write the
I don't think
notes
so
down
either.
right for you there.
Yeah, I'll let you take over.
So they actually perform all over the place, and they quite often use whips in their act, and it is amazing the things that they're able to do with them. But these costumes, like Caroline was saying, are a traditional Dominican form of what started as a way to keep demons away, keep the evil away. And they just realized that they were such beautiful costumes, and the dance that goes with it is so amazing to see that it has become a tradition of the culture. And it's not all about the demons anymore, it's about the dancing now. And a lot of these masks that you'll see when they come by are actually handmade.
Really?
Yeah.
The costumes are absolutely beautiful.
The fact he thought to do both sides of the costume is amazing. And this may be an Irish parade it's St. Patrick's, but it's great that we're recognizing so many different cultures because the Merrimack Valley area is a melting pot of cultures.
Absolutely, and I feel like in the past few years we've been really recognizing that, celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month and now the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
That was where I got a chance to see the association Carnavalesca was at Hispanic Heritage Day a few years ago.
Okay.
And hopefully they're going to stop and do some of the whip demonstration for us.
I don't know. I feel like they're walking. You just feel the energy, though. There's something you don't see every day. Woo, there's the whip. All right.
Not gonna lie, looking a little frightened.
I was not expecting that and got a little scared.
Hopefully they'll do a couple more.
Behind them we have the YWCA.
And Carol Ann, one of the things that they explained to us at the show at the Hispanic Heritage Day, that noise you're hearing is not the bank snap it sounds like, it is the actual whip.
Really?
And it is the air going through the cording of the whip. And of course, the YWCA started as the Young Women's Christian Association, but they now help thousands of people every year, especially in battered shelters or battered spouse shelters. Things like that is exactly where they shine and they bring themselves out. And this is the Methuen Rail Trail.
Yes.
One of your favorites.
Yes, I love especially springtime, walking along the trail. There's turtles basking in the sun. You can see the little ducklings following their parents around.
Basking in the sun sounds kind of good right now.
Yes, definitely.
And I'm not quite sure.
I believe these are the Aleppo Minutemen.
Yes, thank you. I lost my place on the paper.
They're a parade unit out of Wilmington, bringing attention to masonry, and they assist with fundraising for the Shriners Hospital. Ooh, wasn't expecting that either. We have front row seats here to all the action.
You might want to expect it again because they're loading up. So these guns that they're using are actual muskets, it looks like, and they only shoot one little round at a time. So they're actually adding black powder to those guns as they walk so that they can shoot them off again and probably scare Carol Ann.
Well, this time I'll be prepared.
I'm not sure the original Minutemen had a Denali hanging around behind them, but hey. And now we have the Aleppo Shriners cars.
Yes. Oh. See, I didn't get scared that time.
Yeah. So they've actually just gotten a lot of these. They are replica golf carts from the 1940s. And the Aleppo Shriners are probably one of the best known for the Shriners Hospital.
Correct.
And they actually work hard together to raise funds so that the Shriners Hospital doesn't have to charge people for what they need. And that's a beautiful slogan. We ride so they can walk.
And now we have Jazzberry.
They have performed at Methuen Day a few times.
They have. And they're a 10-piece band. Like you said, they're right here from Methuen. And they're ripe, rich, and ready to jam. Their rendition of Danny Boy.
It sounds a lot better than when I learned it on the recorder in 4th grade.
We learned hot cross buns.
We had an Irish principal, Mr. Callahan, who
I
was
see.
retiring. So all of our recorder music that year was dedicated to his Irish heritage. And this is the New Hampshire Wolves Hurling Club. And if I hadn't screwed up my notes, I'd be able to tell you what they're doing.
I didn't want to point that out.
Go for it. I think anybody who's listened to us before knows.
And here, this, I believe, is wrapping up the parade. We have the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce and the parade committee. And there's John Drew right there, along with State Rep Ryan Hamilton. And they're two of the guys that really pushed forward with this parade and got it up and running in less than 4 months.
Did you use John's story about how he got
We did not.
brought into this?
No.
So John has this great story that he asked Ryan to help him run his campaign for city councilor, and Ryan said he would on the condition that he helped him form a St. Patrick's Day parade here in Methuen.
Yep.
And so the night that John found out he had been elected was the night they decided to start.
And for our first year, I think this went pretty well.
Yeah, this
And
went very well.
We've been promised next year they'll have more time and it'll be bigger and better.
And maybe a little warmer.
Hopefully a little warmer, yes.
If anybody would like to build us like a little hut to sit in, and I'm sure Ray and Harrison would love it for the Santa Parade. But one last thank you to the sponsors, Thomas Redmond Insurance Agency, Wicked Irish, Rockland Trust, the Sheehan family, Valley of Hope, the Irish Cottage, trying to get it as they drive by.
Feast of the Three Saints.
Martineau's Towing, Clada Pub, NESC, Rockland Trust, State Representative Francisco Polino, the Sheehan family, and MVP ASAP.
All right, well, I think that's a wrap for us.
I think we're getting pretty close. And so actually on the screen here you can see Councillor Ryan DiZoglio in his Irish finest, because as he put it, nothing says Irish like DiZoglio. So it does look like they are wrapping up. The fire trucks are trying to pull into the bay behind us, so
Yeah,
they
so I
might
think
be
it's time for us to
encouraging us
move.
to go. We want to thank you guys for joining us today, and we hope you've had a good time and maybe had a few good laughs, even if they were at our expense. So thank you for joining us. Carol Ann, thank you for joining me. This has been
My
fun.
pleasure, yes, and we'll see you again next year.
And for both of us, this is the first time doing a parade, but like Carol Ann said, we'll be back. Wait, we cannot wrap up. We have
cannot
John
wrap
Drew.
yet. He
Yes.
is a man of his word. Can we grab another headset, please? We have... I'm going to step out.
Okay. I was just going to give him mine. Just a little bit. So next year when you ask for the no clouds, could you ask for no wind too? Yeah. Maybe 60 degrees instead of 50?
See what we can do, and I'll take that. If it's raining and snowing, I'll be happy.
Yes, I think we are.
Okay.
All right.
That's good. So, are you happy with this turnout?
It was a great turnout. There was quite a bit of people along the route. You know, I think we had about 2 hours. Is that about what we called it? I think we're pretty much there. So, pretty great parade. A lot of people had some fun. We asked them as we came along. So thank you for coming out and enjoying today. Hopefully we can make it a little bit bigger, a little bit better, a little bit warmer.
Well, I guess warmer, you can't really have too much to say. But this was a wonderful turnout for having 4 months to put it together.
Great.
Christmas
is in the middle of it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
That's right. You lost a lot of time for that. And the noise you're hearing is they are already sweeping the streets and getting rid of all that extra candy.
Yep.
So you have been planning for this for 3 months. I'm sure your head has been spinning and getting everything ready. Where are you heading now?
Right now, I'm heading down. I'm going to try to finish the walk, get down to the park and ride, grab my phone, some of the other things I have down there, and then I'm heading over to the Irish Cottage, where we're going to do the awards and present all those. So that's where my day doesn't end for another probably 2 hours.
Well deserved.
Well, I know that your feet are probably tired,
They're a little tired.
but you have mentioned that you have a little bit of background in some Irish step dancing.
I do. I do have a background in Irish
And
dancing.
you said if you were up to it at the end of the parade, we might get a few steps. What do you think? Do I have to wait till next year?
I'll give you a little something.
All
I'll let
right.
Councilor DeZoglio hop in here real quick. I'll give you a little stamp, and then I'm going to keep on moving. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching this. Thank you to NCTV for doing this. I really appreciate it. This is great.
Great job, Counselor.
Thank you very
Excellent.
much.
Counselor, hop in. All right. Hi, everyone. What do you want me to do? Over here?
Where's Best? Right here? He's going to do an Irish step dance.
Okay.
Turn the camera and face
do
him.
it. You do it first.
Turn the camera and face.
Sorry, we're trying to get Jim to understand what we're doing.
Woohoo! Excellent.
And especially after having just walked all those
I
miles.
can't do that. I will not do that at all.
Oh, come on.
I will not do that.
Counselor, I was kind of hoping.
No. But it's great. It's great that you guys came out. I want to thank everybody for coming out.
I love the jacket.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. I brought out my Irish roots. I know everybody looks at me as the Italians, but good fact about my family is half of us are McDermotts or Driscolls. So when Councilor Drew said, let's do this, I was like, absolutely. For someone that's been here for 27 years, 30 years, we haven't had something new. And I think this is a great thing. And what really made me emotional coming up here was everybody coming up to me and saying, thank you for doing this. So as I said when I was going to be a counselor, I said I want to do something new here. And this is a great way to start.
Definitely.
So how did you guys enjoy it?
This was great. Yes, you could feel the excitement. Everyone was having a great time.
Good.
It was wonderful.
Good. And the thing about that is we did this all in 4 months.
Imagine what you could do with the whole year.
Yeah, that's what someone actually on the route said to me. They're like, you're going to do this next year, right? And I was like, if you want it, I'll do it.
We'll give you 24 hours off. You could start on Monday.
Yeah, along with my other council and stuff that we want to get done.
Yeah.
But it's great. I'm happy that...
Actually, you had a really good parade committee that worked with you, though, too, didn't you?
It was. It was made up of people like John Canan, Mrs. Saber, along with many other people. And that's what I always say to people. If you put 20 people in a room together that really want to accomplish something, we did it all in 4 months. So I can only imagine what else we can do in the city and get done if we really put our minds to it. And we didn't. The best thing about it, I told John, I said, I don't want to hear excuses, what we can't do. If you want me to be part of this, I can't hear that we can't do something. I want us to hear how we can do it. And John was like, agree. So that's why I jumped on board with him in Hamilton, and people in that room really said that was their mindset as well. We don't want to hear that we can't do something. We want to hear how we can do it. And so I can only imagine what we can do for next year. And I'm really excited for it. I'm excited for this new tradition. that we're bringing to Methuen, and hopefully, like, generations will want to carry on this tradition. So
I think they will.
I think so too.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
But you guys are coming to the cottage?
We might find our way over there. You never know.
Fine.
We have to find out who the winner is.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
true. Exactly.
So come on over, and people, if they see this before,
We
I
are
hope
live
they-
right now.
Perfect.
Yep.
I hope you guys come to the cottage, enjoy yourselves, and let's continue this tradition.
Sounds
All right.
good. Thank you for joining us today,
No
Counselor.
problem. It's a pleasure, ladies. All right. Have a great day.
All right.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
And thank you for joining us at home. We hope you've enjoyed yourself as much as we have. And like I said before, you may have some good laughs laughing at us, but that's okay because we were laughing at ourselves too.
Yep.
And that's one of the big parts of being Irish is having a great sense of humor and just enjoying life. And that's what we saw today was people doing that.
Absolutely.
So we want to thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you again next year. I'm your host, Michelle Houle.
And I'm Carol Ann Russo.
See you around.